back to my corner of the internet. Today's Wednesday and I've got a book talk video for you guys. This week I thought, what are some books that I'd recommend as quote-unquote summer reading? Now, what I tried to do is, a lot of times the books that I gravitate towards and talk about veer towards the dark side. So I tried to think of books that were a little lighter, or some classics, or just the quintessential books that when I think of summer, I think of this particular book. So I have 5 to share with you. And I'd be interested to know if you've already read any of these. What books would you recommend, you know, as a book you could throw in your bag to take to the beach or on vacation with you? So let's just jump right into it. Now the first one, I have mentioned this author before. I am 100% sure I will mention this author again. And that is Stuart McLean. This book here is Secrets from the Vinyl Cafe. Honestly, I just grabbed whatever Vinyl Cafe book I could find because it doesn't matter. You can pick any of them, and there are a ton. The Vinyl Cafe books are collections of short stories written by Stuart McLean, and they center around a family of 4. There's the mom and dad, Dave and Morley, and then the kids, Stephanie and Sam. And the stories in these books are just the best. They're hilarious, they're heartbreaking, they're heartwarming. They're just perfect, and it's the perfect book to throw in your bag because you can just, you can read one of the stories. None are too long. They're great beach reading. They're great anytime reading. Anytime you need to feel good, whether that's through laughter or some sort of heartwarming tale, these are the books for you. And like I said, there are a ton. There's probably, I don't know, 20. And every time I see that a new one has come out or is coming out, I am always so excited. Okay. Next up, I was thinking about Hemingway last night, as you do, and then today when I was looking through my books to see which ones I wanted to put in this pile, I was like, I want to put a Hemingway in. And I don't know which one. And I thought at first of his collection of short stories as well, because there's just something about short stories that fits in well with the vacation vibe. But I didn't go with that, because his short stories aren't really vacation reads. But instead I went with A Movable Feast. This is such a great book. This is a place, a lot of times, this is a place where I would recommend people to start if they're not super familiar with Hemingway. It's about, it takes place in the 20s. It's a memoir of Hemingway's time in Paris in the 1920s. And he's young, and he's in love, and it's just a gorgeous read. And in my mind, it's a different Hemingway than you get anywhere else. And I would definitely recommend reading that if you hadn't already. And if you have, I'd love to know what you think about it, or what are your thoughts on Hemingway in general. I love him. Okay, next up, this one is written by the woman who wrote The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And so this one's called My Name is Memory. I wasn't sure why I gravitated towards this one at first. I was going to have kind of no recent, well, I mean, this isn't this recent anymore because time is flying. I think this came out in what, 2005? Oh no, 2010. Okay. Still, that's 2010 is 6 years ago. It's insane. Okay, but My Name is Memory. This is kind of a love story. Well, it's not kind of a love story. It's a love story about Daniel and Lucy. Is that right? Yes, Daniel and Lucy. And Daniel has this special gift, and every time he is reincarnated, he has the memories from the lifetime before, and all the lifetimes before. And in every lifetime, he finds himself falling in love with the same woman. And so he's kind of in a, on a hunt to find her again, and he does at a high school. towards the end of the year. So this takes place during summer, most of it, so maybe that's why I kept thinking of it. But it is it's a gorgeous, gorgeous story. Anne is an amazing writer. Some people were a little torn on the ending. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I liked it. I thought it fit it well. But yeah, she's a beautiful writer. And this book is great. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, I imagine, would also be a good summer read. I don't own that one. I don't think I've ever read it. I don't think. But yeah, that would also be a good summer read. So there's that. Okay. Next up is a book that is very, very, very close to my heart and my soul and my childhood. And this is the story of Anne of Green Gables. Now, many of you, see, I don't know. It's written by a Canadian author, and it takes place on a very tiny island province here in Canada, Prince Edward Island. And I don't know how well known it is outside of Canada, honestly. So if you've read this or have heard of this, let me know. If you haven't, you must. Even, you know, so even as an adult, you can find appreciation in it. So often it's looked at as a children's story, which it is, but, you know, it's fine for adults too. It was written in 1908 by L.M. Montgomery. Lucy Maud Montgomery was her full name. And Green Gables is a place that still exists on Prince Edward Island. It actually, geez, 5 to 8 years ago, me and my mom and my sister and my daughter went there for a vacation, and it was amazing. So it's on this tiny island, and it's a house, and it's the house that is in this book, and it was used to shoot the film, and it's just an amazing place to visit. But I'm getting sidetracked now. I'm gonna rein it back in. So Anne of Green Gables. Anne is an orphan. Her name is Anne Shirley, and she is an orphan, and she accidentally gets sent to Green Gables. The people who live at Green Gables are the Cuthberts, and they're a brother and sister who live there together, and they had put in, I don't know how you'd adopted, I was gonna say ordered. They had adopted an orphan, but they had asked for a boy so that they could have someone come and be help to the aging Matthew on his farm and in tending the land of Green Gables. So, on the day when this boy is set to arrive, Matthew goes and he takes, you know, he makes the trek to the train station, and there he sees a little red-headed girl with long braids who chatters nonstop, and she is there ready to be taken home, and he is like, oh my God, like, we did not ask for a girl. He doesn't want to say too much, so he takes her home, and then figures, you know, that his sister can figure it out and they can send her back. But of course, once they get her home, they are hard pressed to send her back. And so it's just the story of the ways that she you know, it's about growing up on that island and about the people that she meets and the characters that she meets and the places and the families, and it's such a gorgeous story and it's such a gorgeous place. If you ever get the chance to visit, you definitely should. And if you have not read Anne of Green Gables, you should definitely do so. It is a story that will warm your heart. It should. And finally, my friends, I'm saving this one till the end because so many people have such strong opinions about the next book I'm going to mention, but I mean, it's just the quintessential summer read, and people, older people especially, you know, like my age or older have probably already read it. If you're younger, maybe you haven't, but you've heard of it, or maybe you haven't heard of it. But I think no matter what your opinions on it, it is definitely a must read, and that is On the Road by Jack Kerouac. I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want to influence your opinion on it in any one way if you have not read it yet. But it is the story of Jack Kerouac's years traveling around North America with his friend and the adventures that they go on. And I don't know, I mean, it's one of those books that you've got to read, and you'll feel very strongly about it one way or the other, I believe. Yeah, it's just the perfect read to get your summer going and have a bit of fun. So there you have it. Those are a few books that I would recommend for your summer reading. I'd love to know if you've read any of these, what you thought of them, what would you recommend for summer reading, and how's your summer going in general. I hope it's going great, and I will see you guys again on Friday. Bye guys.